Frankie here. Today I'm here with Vicious, Sweet Technique, Montreal. We just finished Who Got the Props 2024. Vicious, what do you think of the jam?
Yeah, it was dope, man. It felt good. Some like, I don't know, underground jam, but still like well organized, you know. Big shout out to Mav1 and Yax and everybody around the organization. Thanks for having me. I was one of the judges this evening and it was really fun. Like everybody killed it. Different faces, old faces, you know, and just catching up with the homies. I used to come a lot to the US before. Just happy to be here, man. First time in Detroit.
Crazy talent tonight. The top four for both the 4v4 and 1v1 were crazy.
Yeah.
But we also want to keep the culture, that vibe of the underground.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just the space, man. Of course, the DJs, you know, they had crazy lineup. Flag, B. Ryan, Yax. You have the nice venue, nice DJs, and like I said, the organization was like well done, schedule-wise.
If you have a certain space, people want to break more fresh, right? You know what I mean?
For sure. Everybody is gonna stand out more, I feel. Because some people could say like, oh, it's more for this style, but I think if the space is nice with good energy, any style can like shine out of that.
What kind of plans do you have for the future?
I'm living in Helsinki. I'm in Finland the past 5 years. I always have a foot in Montreal. I'm originally from Montreal, born and raised. Crew is out there, my family. But I get to go visit them at least once a year because I organize a jam there. I'm collaborating with JOAT Festival. They included Breakin the past 3 years. We just finished it this year. It was amazing. It's the next big thing for sure, like it's growing. JOAT Festival is 10 years. I feel it's on a good direction. Every year, like more people, more level. It's such a good vibe. Why it's so different from other events? Because the competition itself is with concepts. So the top 16, there's a couple of concepts, so it becomes more of a game, and then the crowd can interact more like, oh, they get to see how the dancers play with the concepts, and you know, it becomes more fun than just like, oh, I'm trying to win, you know. And I shout it out because it's fresh in my brain. It just happened 2 days ago. I'm super excited about what happened. It was amazing. Shout out to my homie Box One, Iladel Flava.
That was a nice final.
Yeah, versus promo. It was crazy.
Continuing that conversation with the concepts. We talk about this in Breaking a lot. Like, you need to have a conversation with your opponent, but if you have it set up like that, your event, where you're more intentional, like, okay, you have to go into this round with this concept. It makes it more interesting. So I'm thinking that, you know, in general, even if you're not in a concept battle, you should think about this.
Yes, sometimes for sure. It's like playing your cards, especially if you see something going on and you know you can reply to it, it's good. But you cannot get caught up in that game, like entering somebody else's game, and then, oh, you should have maybe stick to your style. Concept-wise, good. For sure, there's a conversation, like even if it's a competition or in a cipher. I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but if you know you can do it, play it out. Ah, look, I have some concepts like you, but like that. If not, don't enter that game and stick to your style and show how you can front the other style, I would say, you know. But yes, it's not a bad idea sometimes if you have similar ideas, like, hey, let's challenge towards that, you know.
Know what you're good at, stick to what you're good at.
Yeah, in some way.
Breakin since '98, Sweet Technique since '06, and I want you to talk a little bit about Boogie Brats too.
Bro, that's crazy, you pull up this picture. When I met him, actually it was in Ontario, London. There was like a crew battle, and we made it to the finals, Sweet Technique versus Supernaturals. That's where I met Migas. Anyways, that's another, but that picture, wow. So I went to chill in Toronto with Gadget, because Gadget is like a good friend of mine, and then we end up chilling a little bit with Migas. But I was not Boogie Brats at that time. It was mostly family, but for me it was like big, you know. I'm with like chilling with Gadget and Migas, and Gadget is such a cool person. Like he was very welcoming us, you know, in Toronto. No matter what, that was the place to go stay at. Even though he has his family, they were welcoming us like family, you know. For me, I was just happy. I'm hanging out with like legends, you know. They're just down-to-earth people, like kicking out with friends in Toronto, and it ended up being like the legendary Boogie Brats, you know.
Was there a lot of back and forth for B-boys between Montreal and Toronto?
Yeah, like even like before my years, always there was like jams in Montreal. This jam called Gravity Rock, organized by Floor Rock. Migas is in that jam. Tactical Crew, Floor Rock. Those are breakers from the 90s from Montreal. They used to go to Toronto. It's 6 hours drive. For us, 6 hours drive, straight line, it was nothing, you know. For people like, oh man, 6 hours, we're like, yo, we're chilling, you know. I'm talking before my years, you know, when we came in, of course, we want to go to Toronto. Back then there was B-Boy Unit Toronto, organized by, I think it was DZ. Manifesto is like a festival.
It's back and forth between Montreal and Toronto. How did it affect your style? How did you want to look?
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because there was a time that I wanted to really look like certain people or certain videos I saw. If you ask me, like when I really start thinking like, oh, how do I want to look? And I said it verbally, it was when I saw this DVD from the Flava Squad. So Flava Squad is like a kind of a movement created by like floor lords. They were just putting everybody like dope cats in it, like Born, Keebs, El Nino, KML, Abstract. Anyways, in that video, those were the names that you can see, you know, like that was the Flava Squad. So one of my homies from Montreal, actually from Tactical Crew, he lent me this DVD. He's like, yo, watch this. At that time, I connect my PlayStation to the TV to watch movies, you know, with the DVD. So I put it. Once I put it, bro, this stayed in there the whole time. The soundtrack was sick. So sometimes I was using it just for practice without watching footage. When I was watching, that was El Nino. He was a little kid. And you see the names like graph a little bit. Lean Rock. And back then, I didn't even know it was Lean Rock. I just see it was written Little Lean. And he had like a tribal shirt, doing crazy freeze. And then later I'm like, you're the guy from the DVD. When I met Lean Rock, you know? It was amazing. But yeah, when I watched this DVD, it was that. I'm like, oh, I want to break like that. But I was already breaking years ago. I had like a, I don't know, interesting style. My styles was interesting. There was a time I had like more foundation stuff. And then after I was more into like Korean style. I was inspired a little bit like by River's Crew, Darkness, like doing the crazy one-hand freeze. And then from Flava Squad, I learned who was like Boogie Brats, Flipside Kings, and all these names. 2008, about, I think what attracted me was, like I said, like the beat. The soundtrack in that DVD, it was not necessarily like, for sure there's a break, but it was not like a break beat. It was more a little bit like hip hop break. See, like like a somehow Cypress Hill without lyrics. That like doom 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 doom. So that's the beat, and I was like, oh, this is fresh, you know. The outfit too. If you put some certain like baggy pants in certain way, it makes the form a certain type of way, I feel. But that's in my own opinion. Some people might say like, no, it doesn't matter. I think it matters. If you see somebody breaking, let's say, from shorts to pants, I feel it's different, at least for me. Because when I was watching this, I'm like, oh shit, it looks fresh. Especially at a young age, I'm just like, that's like pure inspiration. Then technical wise, continuous like rotation, certain way, then both ways. That too was like something like it was relatable for me. I was like, oh shit. I was enjoying to do that, to like try to find different directions, like, and not really being too aware, because my style is very spontaneous. Like I don't calculate too much, you know? Like I don't have names specific for certain things. I have my little checkpoints, both sides, both ways, freeze from both sides to like a little bit of power. I'm not crazy with powers, but still I can pull a power one side, the other side. Like it's all becomes a transition. I think they were breaking in that, putting everything they know like in one flow. Everything was a transition somehow. But I never think of this. I was just like, before, like I was like, oh, I want to do like 10 windmills, 10 baby windmills, 10 head spins, like you want to drill. It was more about drilling, but it brings me back, like when I met, for example, Gadget, it was like, all right, Vicious, I know you can spin, but how can you put it together like as a transition, like make everything a transition? And when he said that to me, I was like, what does he mean? To make everything a transition, I think that's the ultimate goal at the end. Like you make everything look free and people don't really know like, oh, like is he freestyling or not, you know? It's a deep answer, but yeah, hopefully it's clear at the same time. It's personal too, like I'm not saying like everybody should do that, but that's basically, I think, how I came up. I'm literally explaining it, but you know, the Boogie Brats, Gadget and Migas, they call it with one word, origami. Go this way, papa, come back, or reverse, like, oh, freeze, you know, so.
I love that we're able to, pay tribute to such an inspiration worldwide. Migas.
For sure.
How we can apply this to our own dance.
Yes,
right?
yes. And Gadget too, man. Yeah. I feel like for some people, he can be more in the shadow, you know, just because he detached himself a little bit more from the scene. But man, there was times like he was in all those like underground bars in Toronto, like in those dark corners, like breaking like crazy, you know. And when we got to meet him For us, it was like, oh, like we knew already how to break, but if I have to say that did Gadget teach me something, it was literally to be free with my breaking, you know? So for sure, Miguez is the biggest inspiration, but I always bring up a little bit Gadget because like, people don't really know Gadget, you know? But like they have to go dig deeper, I would say, and you have to kind of be more in Canada to get to break with him, you know? His mind is somewhere else, like about not want to travel too much for breaking, but for sure he breaks for himself, and I feel that's inspiring for me, you know, like to find those hidden gems in the scene.
Well, thank you so much for, you know, helping share his name and share
Yes, for sure. Yo, this is Battle at Legendary Studio from Montreal. This is like a hip-hop street dance studio from Montreal, but for so many years. And in that footage, it's crazy because I forgot who organized this jam. I think it was Tiger from Montreal, some veteran from our scene. But that studio was like at the same time a practice spot where people wait for the classes to be over. Breaking was there. We used to practice a lot there. Shout out to Urban Element, Cindy, Angelo. Yeah, they're like hip hop dancers, you know. Urban Element still exists today. Damn, man, Jigo. Yo. I think I traveled already, so I had the hunger from like traveling to Europe and being, like I was somehow building my name, you know? And Jigo is one of like the veterans from Quebec City, from this crew called QC Rock. So, like, you know, our province is Quebec, and then you have Quebec City. That's why everybody speaks French in Montreal. Actually, man, Jigo, we put him down in Sweet Technique at one point. Okay. Yeah. It sucks though, because somehow when we put him down, there was a switch in his life, and then like just to be more serious about life stuff, so he kind of detached of competing. The year we kind of put him down, we were like hungry, you know, and we were happy because I feel his style fit with us. It was nothing personal, it's just like life timing and stuff. Big shout out to Jigo, he's still out there doing stuff for his community back in Quebec.
One of the reasons I pulled this up is way different style-wise from the Vicious that we're familiar with.
Yeah.
Right? What do you remember about your training?
Damn, man. 2008, I would say, I remember that I used to go a lot to this place called Cafe Graffiti. I'm from the suburb of Montreal, so I live in this city called Brossard, 30 minutes away from Montreal. The scene was there, the practice spots, the jams were in Montreal. So those years was like the years I used to go a lot, like it was every Wednesday and Sunday at Cafe Graffiti. Then you had other little places, but Cafe Graffiti was the spot organized by Tactical Crew. It was like open for everybody. So it's interesting because in those years, it was like many crews everywhere, you know? Like sometimes like other countries, like not every crew has their own practice spot.
Right, exactly.
So that Cafe Graffiti was kind of more community-wise, you know? That was the hungry years. I think 2008, that was the year that Flava and Promo got in the crew. Practice-wise, was very freestyle. Not so technical, not too much knowledge, I guess. I just want to make it, you know, like traveling, like, yeah, a little bit clueless of how I could put my things together, but I was going to practice. So I was just young, you know, hungry, like, let's go battle, you know? This is United Styles, 2011. Yo, you have no idea, like, for me, this is living my dream, man. That's crazy. I felt so confident because, like, I'm in a crew with El Nino, like with Naughty One, like Prevail and Ross, like, not sure if he's still Floor Lords, but from Boston. Like, the thing is, of course, El Nino and Naughty One, those were the big names, you know? Prevail and Ross still, like, I didn't know them, but they're Americans, and for me, it's my first time in the US, like for breaking. When I was young, I had into a fight and I got a criminal record. The person that was taking care of my documents, she was always saying like, oh, because of your criminal record, you cannot go to the States. I dreamed to go to the States, to go see the jams, the Outbreak, the United Styles is not too far from Montreal. So I was going to Europe. I went to Europe 2007 and a couple of years, 2009. In Europe, it was okay, but not the US. Somehow, some way, I end up being able. I traveled somewhere by accident, my layovers in New York. I got stopped. I was like, fuck. And finally, it's like, oh, your thing is not such of a big deal in the US, so you're free to go anywhere you want in the America. I hugged the guy, you know, the officer, thank you so much. Next thing you know, I'm like, I'm going to United Styles, you know, like I'm hungry. I got done in Flava Squad in Montreal. Linsky and Lean Rock, they came. So they put me down after they see me like battling. I lost in the finals, I was like this, but they cheered me up and they're like, yo, we want you down in Flava Squad. When I went there, I'm like, yo, can we do a Flava Squad team, you know? El Nino is so hyped for me. He's like, yo, Vish is here and stuff. But he's like, it's their jam, it's their anniversary. So he's like, yo, I don't think I can battle, you know? And you think he asked Linsky, and Linsky was there, but like, yo, I don't know. And finally, they still did it, you know? And I was so happy because for me, I'm just like, I'm gonna battle with El Nino. It's like my dream, the guy from the DVD, you know, like I'm Flava Squad now. It's crazy. Those are our young years, you know, like we're like young, hungry. And me, I'm just happy I'm in the US, pre-party. At that time, you don't think too much of the competition. And actually, I was because I'm from Montreal and it's first time in US. And it's like, there was always this thing like, oh, when Montreal goes abroad, it's like pass unnoticed. Nobody knows, you know? So I had that little stress. I'm like, oh shit. But at the same time, like, my place is different. I'm in Flava Squad. I'm chilling at El Nino's place, you know. From Montreal, like, that was big, at least for me, man. When we get to the jam, we were so hangover. And you know, El Nino is like, because this is his anniversary, he doesn't take it that serious, you know, like, he just wants to battle, like, make me feel happy, like, let's battle together. And then for him, maybe we lose the first round and that's it, but we had a vibe. Man, we're there. Everybody like's ready. Like, I think there was other crews like all dressed in white, like with routines. We're like, oh. And I'm not saying it's like a good example, but it was that time. And we end up winning, you know, which is crazy. And for me, it was huge. They had a huge board, graph. First time in US, battling with big names, we end up winning. The way I'm dancing there, I never really danced like that before, just because I was feeling so comfortable. Even just having the biggest and baddest cap, the biggest and baddest like outfit, back then for me was like, I'm just living the dream, you know?
When we watch promo tonight and what you're talking about, you're comfortable. This is what I appreciate so much about your dance. And everyone on this squad, someone like a Naughty One, like you said, or an El Nino, you guys just bring your own character and you're not afraid to show it. I think that's what people see and get inspired by.
Yes. I try to stay as much possible myself, how I am in life, and project it in the dance. But it's easy to say, like, you know, when you're out there, it's like that's the biggest mission, I feel. You can train as much as you want, get the craziest move, but I feel sometimes it's like when you're out there, as cliche as it can sound, just stay yourself, you know? And that's hard sometimes because, yeah, you have to stay yourself is like to stay in control with your emotions when you're in the fire of action, you know? You're like, oh, so...
People talking in your ear.
Yeah,
you know?
and stuff like this. And just to, I think but this time comes with time, with experience, you know? Because, when the character comes, that's something you cannot really practice. Some things I've done in battles that I didn't do in practice, you know? But that's me. So there's people like they drill the practice and they're gonna replicate exactly the same on the floor. For me, it's hard. Sometimes I'm gonna pull more things in the battle than in the practice. Even though I'm gonna practice certain things, with time, you learn just to understand and accept what's your style, no matter what's happening in front of you, you know? But with time, like I said, it's easy to say now, but I wish I feel like this even before. But I guess that's the construction. It's a build-up, and when you get older, like, and you're still consistent, as you get older, you still go to practice and stuff, man, you know, your style is gonna become that. But you have to put in the work. I still go to practice, man. We're talking like 2008, we're in 2024, and I still make my bag, still go to practice, you know, find time in my day, find time with my family and stuff. You know, I'm a father now and stuff. So it's all that, man. It's the lifestyle, just bring it in the floor, how, you know, you put in your time, your work, your personalities, like just, it's all that big mix, you know?
Really well put. I like one thing you said in terms of, you know, you wish you had some of this mindset when you were younger, but that's just part of life. You kind of have to just go through that journey to figure it out.
Yes, totally. I realized a lot these past years, you know?
You have to suffer a little bit, you know?
Yeah,
in a way.
yeah. Somehow. It's true. Struggle is real.
Yeah. I love this round.
Yo. With the hoodies, bro, like, yo, okay, man. We can, and it's sick that you say I love this round, bro, because that's when I woke up. That's Outbreak Europe 10, I think, like, but that's really, in that battle, I woke up. I think that was top 8. And why I say this, because, okay, so I just moved to Finland, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. I just know I'm about to be a father, you know, just got married and stuff. So I moved to Finland, and then I'm just hungry, like, okay, what's up in Europe? I'm closer. And then I see that there was the Catch the Flavor, Strice and the crew were all homies, you know, like Flipside Kings. Like we entered there at Flipside Technique because we have like a long time connection with the guys. So I saw that Strice was in Catch the Flavor with Lego. I'm like, yo, you're gonna go to Outbreak? You wanna do this, you know? At that point, it's easy to communicate like this, but to think back, I'm like, yo, shit, you know, it's B-Boy Stripes, you know? But with years, we became friends, and weirdly, in some way, we had many things in common, I feel like, life-wise, you know? Like personal stuff. It was easy to relate on some conversations. And then me, it's the first time, it's 2019, like you said, Sweet Technique 2006, 2008. It's the first time in like more than, I don't know, 15 years that I write down my stuff. Signatures, if you want to say, you know, writing it in my phone. This move, okay, switch, this move, like 3, 3, 3, 3. But like I said, it's funny. It's the first time I'm writing down, and I'm going to practice and drilling that. Like, and I'm in Finland, I don't know too much people. My crew is not there to feed me, you know, I'm just like, oh shit, so it's like this. But of course I'm hyped because I'm going to Outbreak with Stripes. And Outbreak is like, already 2019, we have history there. Confidence, but at the same time, the pressure, like, oh, you know, like, and me, I'm just happy to battle with Stripes. I'm like, but I'm thinking like, shit, there's many people there doing crazy moves. For sure, we feel like we can win, but we don't know, you know, like the level is always, you can never know.
It can be anyone's day.
Yeah, I mean, it's Outbreak, you know, so yeah, it can be anyone's day. Exactly, I say that a lot too. I train is like maybe like a couple of months. Once I go to the jam, I have my little outfits. I'm like, okay, like I like to have different outfits during the brackets, let's say. That's actually some gadget stuff. Yeah, gadgets like, yo, if you change outfit every time, you're gonna look different every time, bro. You know, like some deep shit. I was like, and me, it got caught up in me. Like, it can be simple detail, like maybe off the cap, but it does bring something. We do prelims, we do top 16, and top 16 is crazy. We get a tiebreaker. You know, Stripes is mad strong, but he's like, yo, bro, you gotta go. And I'm like, oh, damn, you know, and then me, I'm like, what do I do? Like, you cannot save stuff, but you know, it's like, oh, I'm thinking of the next battle. Stripes was always the time, yo, one battle at a time, bro, one battle at a time, you know? So, and at the same time, because he lets me go do the tie, I'm like, I feel like, oh shit, like he gives me a confidence, you know, he believes in me, you know? So man, let's go, you should believe on yourself. So I'm like, okay. I text with my girl and I'm like, yo, it's not going well. Like, I'm checking my list and it's not coming like I want. And she goes like, yo, your list was okay, practice okay, but now at the jam, put that down and just freestyle, like go. I'm like, god damn, she's right, you know, like put this down. And that's that footage, bro. I put my hoodie on and then I'm like, that's the vicious. When I have my little hoodie, it's like I'm in my zone. Or if I have my cap, that little cap, if I'm like this, sometimes people like, oh, they're like, look at me. I'm like, yo, bro, that's, you know what? That's the dedication to Lego, B-Boy Lego, man. That's for me, you know? And I don't know, the hoodie, I think it was like the Dark Vader. That I grew up with that stuff. So when I put the black hoodie, that's the association, you know? That little footage brings me back to everything I just said, man. And it was amazing, man. It was like so cool to battle with Stripes. As much as like we freestyle, we have to play the game, we analyze things. And it's just nice when you battle with somebody that you're on the same page, you know? It's like very smooth, like, and then we're just kind of backing up each other. We're in the finals and we're like, and I see Stripes was like, he was on, you know, like, yeah, historical moment for sure, man. And that list right now is deleted, bro. Like I had it for a while and it's just like, when I looked it back, it was like, this is boring, you know, like I'd rather just go recreate my brain. I can write a new list or something, but Yeah, I don't know how people do it. They're strong, mentally strong to be able to write down things, keep it forever, and do it repeatedly.
Right.
I respect the game, but it's not mine.
Keeping it fresh, like you said, with the changing the outfits, you know, I think that's more of a mindset thing. If you're changing your outfit every round, you're in a different mindset. You got to keep it fresh.
Yes, yes.
I'm not going to repeat as much. I'm going to think about the different approaches of my style, maybe.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, not on the spot though. Don't change on the
Sure.
spot. I mean, borderline, a hoodie or whatever, if you know you're gonna spin. But yeah, for sure. Like, and then, man, some days it can be one outfit of the day too. You know, if you have like a nice full tracksuit, you can rock it. But it's personal. I'm not saying like maybe I would share it to my students. Let's say like, you know, but at the same time, make it like not that it's gonna limit yourself, you know.
Vicious, thank you so much for your time
Yo.
today. The only last question I have is any closing thoughts? You know, you have a lot of breakers that watch this channel that have been breaking like 5, 10, 15 years plus, you know. These are dedicated breakers that watch my channel. I'm so blessed.
That's super cool.
That is my following, you know. I have some very intelligent, very thoughtful viewers. Do you have any advice for them or just a message to them before we end here?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, first of all, it's super cool what you're doing. I'm happy I'm able to be here to share. I'm always open to share, you know. And yeah, man, if I can say something is like, it's corny, man, you know, don't believe in yourself, but believe in what you want, like in anything in life, you know. Like as me, I come from a small town, like there's not much. I was watching the DVDs. I was thinking like I was too old for this. I'm like, oh wow, I want to be there, but maybe I don't think it's realistic. Next thing you know, I'm there, you know. I'm like, oh, B-Boy Keebs, oh, nice to meet you, bro. You just have to like put yourself out there. Don't wait, practice, put in the work. I feel like if you put in the work, like it's not gonna lie. Things naturally come, you know. When you put energy in towards something, I feel things come, you know. Yeah, be patient. For me, it was like this back then. Like I was just hyped to go to a jam because I knew somebody like that I like is gonna be there, let's say, you know. And I feel now it's just too easy to go online and just check everything. And of course, people put their money in somewhere else. It's not, I'm not rich, man. When we were traveling to the US and stuff, we were like stacking, you know, and like, just like little on the side, sometimes borrowing here, okay, I'll pay you back, bro. You know, it was that instead of like putting money in other things. For us, at one point, it was on the summer, putting money into traveling a little bit from our own pocket, you know. Man, now you have a possibility of writing grants, sponsorship. So, man, take advantage of this. Like, pay yourself a trip to a jam, go see your favorite breaker, you know, like, it's gonna elevate you more than if you just stay online, you know. I mean, I'm online too, it's okay. I'm not saying like, I'm not talking like the old guy, like, hey, back in the days. It's not really that, but until today, you can recreate this, like, go to a jam, go see your favorite breaker, go chill with him, have that conversation. Sometimes it can feel unreal, but you have to break the ice and yeah, just go out there, you know.
Don't wait. I like that.
Yes,
Don't
yes.
wait. Go get it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Vicious, thank you again.
Yeah.
Enjoy Detroit while you're here.
Thanks, bro. Thanks.
And hopefully we'll see you soon, all right?
Nice.
We're out of here. Peace.
Peace.